You know, we were trying to help Mike. That guy sent that to me in good faith because we were concerned about Mike's internal conflict that he was having with his sexuality. It's not a crime to be gay, okay? But to question me, who's just acting out of good faith, that's a new low. That's a new low.
Wow. When that's how you treat them, how do you expect anybody to act any differently? You know, that's horrible. You made that bed in the back of that truck. You made that bed. No, you can't hide from this at the truck stop. Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video. My name is Reese Waters, and I'm trouble. They got Mike Johnson. Democrats claim Speaker Mike Johnson among slew of top Republicans expected to retire following epic rift with Trump over Epstein files. What? Not Mike Johnson? You mean this Mike Johnson? Reminder that Mike Johnson named a law school he was dean of after Predator Paul Pressler got his job because of Matt Gaetz and is now committed to protecting Donald Trump. This is not his first time at this rodeo. That's right. He did get his job because of the whole Matt Gaetz situation with Kevin McCarthy. Yeah, that's right. Wow. Mike Johnson, I wouldn't have expected this out of you. You want to spend more time with your family? No? You don't rock with your family like that?
Mike Johnson's my cousin, and if it makes you feel any better, my family thinks he's a little weasel too.
That's the Mike Johnson I know. That's definitely the Mike Johnson I know. Yeah, I can hear the familiarity.
When Mike went to college, he came back and he was really, really into ministry. For instance, he made me and my friends feel really bad about the fact that we were dating people, guys, girls, whatever. And Mike would say, you should come preach with me down at the truck stop. And apparently Mike was kind enough to go and minister with truckers in their cabins, their trucks. Every night he'd bring the Bible and he'd help those men find some comfort on the road in Christ.
Did you say truckers at the truck stop? In the cab? Nah, I'm not asking no more questions about that.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Mike says he's met his wife in church, but that's not true. See, they actually met at a Mary Kay makeup party. Mike used to like to go there to pick up chicks.
Mary Kay makeup party? You couldn't even do Avon? No Amway? You just straight Mary Kay. Wow. And then had the nerve to brag about it. If that's your feeding ground, you don't want it to get crowded because that ain't gonna go good for you.
But the thing that Mike was most known for in Shreveport was his ability to suck up.
I'm sorry, did you say suck up? He suck up. Okay. No reason. No reason. Go ahead.
The richest man in Shreveport loved to fish, so Mike would wait in the bayou in the water with some snorkels, and he'd have a fish with him. And as soon as that man would cast, Mike would go underwater, put the fish on the line, alive. Then he'd get out, the man would struggle, and Mike would walk up on him and say, "Mr. Phillip, looks like you got a big one." So Mike would be there every time Mr. Phillip caught the big fish that Mike put on the pole for him. Well, Mr. Phillip got to liking Mike, called him his little lucky rabbit's foot. This is just satire, but it looks like Mike Johnson spends more money on makeup than his constituents have to spend on groceries, and so therefore we're going to continue to roast him. Be sure to follow along.
Woo! Oh boy, I I was about to say, with family like that, you know what I mean? You might as well stay in Congress, you know what I mean? But your actual family, are you sure they're going to be in favor of this, Mike? You know, they probably depend on that paycheck. And that paycheck not going to go as far as it used to.
Mike Johnson just surprised everybody with this.
The economists have shown food prices always go up. There's an inflationary level that's built into grocery prices.
Now compare that to what the Trump sycophant said in January.
Can you guarantee that under President-elect Trump, under this Republican Congress, that grocery prices will in fact come down?
Oh, I don't think there's any question about that.
Well, hopefully when y'all made that new budget, you wasn't listening to Mike Johnson. Democrats are claiming House Speaker Mike Johnson is among a slew of Republicans expected to resign from Congress in the coming weeks as party infighting sparks a mass exodus among GOP members. Congressional Democrats are twisting the knife on Republicans following recent electoral losses and a major rift over the release of the Epstein files. They sensationally claim 16 members are considering retirement. The House Republican Conference is collapsing in real time as Deputy Speaker Mike Johnson has lost the confidence of his members and surrenders complete control to Donald Trump. That from DCCC National Political Director Brooke Butler. The DCCC even released the GOP Retirement Watch Bingo card with the 16 members they think are leaving. They playing bingo? They playing bingo? What? Hell yeah, I'm gonna make a video. But in the meantime, before I can make a video, put my money on Nancy Mace. Now, cause I seen how she be walking around in her pajamas. That ain't, she ready to go home.
Made it. What time is it? 9 o'clock? 8:45? 8:52. We made it, hour to go to the vote.
Fellow high-profile GOP member Nancy Mace was expected to follow Marjorie Taylor Greene into retirement. Mace, who's also running for governor of South Carolina, slammed rumors she would meet with Greene to discuss quitting and their shared frustration with GOP leadership. Now let's look at this. We got Mike Rogers, we got Daryl Issa, Ann Wagner, Victoria Sparks. Yeah, we can definitely pack her up. I'll put Rob Whitman, Tony Gonzalez. There's old Nancy Mace. Brian Fitzpatrick, he looked disappointed that he in the corner on the list. And there is Mike Johnson. There he is. Now, we have already discussed the mass exodus already underway on the GOP side of the aisle. More explosive early resignations are coming. It's a tinderbox. Morale has never been lower. Mike Johnson will be stripped of his gavel and they will lose the majority before this term is out. Hey, Mike, why don't you call Marjorie Taylor Greene? Call Marjorie and see what it looked like on the other side. Representative of the House Republican Conference writ large, she clearly has a bone to pick with Trump and the leadership. MTG may have her eye on the governorship. That chatter picked up again over the weekend. She was also never a fan of Speaker Mike Johnson. Y'all still beefing? I could understand that. I could understand that. Also, I'm sure her phone probably busy because she taking calls from a lot of gyms that need managers. So I'm betting it's hard to get in touch with her at this point in time. But Mike, I can see all the frustration and anger on your face. I can see it every time you're talking.
The Caribbean boat strikes, the administration has acknowledged that there was a second.
I mean, imagine dealing with that every day. And you know what? You pass your frustration on to the people because we feel the exact same way listening to you. The exact same way. You don't never know what's going on. And no matter what they ask you, you don't never know. What we need you for? Where you been? Where you spending your time if you don't never know anything? Hand us your phone.
Are you okay with that?
I don't know anything about that, President. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on it. I haven't read into it yet.
He was charged 45 years. He was charged with, and with major crimes.
The President has the ability to advocate on behalf of anyone who wants. It's not really my issue.
And then when you do decide to give an explanation, it'd be the biggest crock of nonsense, like somebody sat on the keyboard.
Okay, you're so eager. I got to get it.
We have a relationship at this point. First off, happy Thanksgiving as well. But quick question: what are your thoughts about and not related to the Minnesota welfare scandal, but specifically, what are your thoughts about President Trump calling Governor Walz?
Well, look, that's not the word that I would choose. I think his reaction was probably a spontaneous one to the enormous amount of fraud that was announced there. We're thinking it may be, it could be $2 billion. Congressman Emmer, of course, represents that state, and it is an outrage. And we're told that this was funding terrorist organizations in Somalia. And so it's a lot to look into. I mean, all of us, when we heard the news, we reacted in different ways. And you know, that's not the word I would choose. But I think everybody understands how absurd and crazy that is, and how Congress has an immediate obligation to look into it, and the administration is as well. And we're going to get down to the bottom of that. Governor Walz appears to have a lot to answer for. So it was a really stupid thing.
Is that what Trump said? I think what he has spent all day reading his medical charts. I think he spent all day reading his medical charts and the results of the MRI on the part of the body that he doesn't understand. So that was probably already in his brain. I think that's probably why it came out like that. You have completely lost control, and everybody can see it. Speaker Mike Johnson is losing control of the House floor from NBC News. He suffered a bruising defeat before Thanksgiving when Rep. Thomas Massie and a trio of GOP women defied Johnson and his top lieutenants and teamed with Democrats to force a near unanimous vote to release the Epstein files to the public. Other Republicans are now turning to that same playbook to go over the speaker's head. This week, Rep. Anna Paulina Luna of Florida filed a discharge petition in a bid to bypass Johnson and force a vote on a bipartisan bill that would ban members of Congress from owning or trading individual stocks. 9 other Republicans have joined Luna and signed the petition, along with 6 Democrats. That's a far cry from the 218 signatures needed to go around the speaker and force a floor vote, but the signatures are notable. It was once unheard of for members of the majority to use discharge petitions against their own leadership. Wow. So basically, she asked to speak to the manager, was disgusted, then asked to speak to the district manager. She went around the manager to the district manager, and she did it in front of the manager. Mike Johnson, I don't know what to tell you, man. Honestly, this gonna look bad when you go home and try and get a job with Covenant Eyes. Like, this the way you've been managing. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not gonna look good. Moderate Rep. Brian Fitzpatrick is threatening to file his own discharge petition to impose crushing U.S. sanctions on Russia as Trump's proposed peace deal to end the Ukraine war appears to be faltering, and he's considering another one to extend expiring Obamacare subsidies unless leaders act before the December 31st deadline. We're not afraid to use that option, Fitzpatrick said. It's not a tool of the minority. It's a tool of the rank and file. Now, wait a minute. Wasn't Brian Fitzpatrick on the bingo card? Wasn't that him in the corner on the bingo card? Wow. Now I see why you look like that in your spot on the bingo card, Mike Johnson. Now I see, because you knew he was coming for you. He coming for you on his way out. He causing problems on the way out the door. And I can understand how that would be an issue, because if you have that many Republicans that have already declared that they're leaving or retiring or running for other offices, and now you have widespread rumors on who else might potentially join them, well, there wouldn't really be much governor on their behavior in the meantime. Now, would it? You got a bunch of lame ducks that you are put in charge of. And quite honestly, you are the lamest. On Wednesday, Johnson's team abruptly yanked the SCORE Act, which would create federal standards for compensating student athletes, off the House floor amid opposition from a bloc of conservative Republicans led by Chip Roy of Texas. It was their most important bill of the week. Your most important bill of the week was about compensation for student athletes when we got a whole affordability crisis? ICE running around rampant, and your most important bill of the week was how to limit the money that student athletes are currently receiving? And you should have known Chip Roy was going to go against that. That man's from Texas. You know they got some deep pockets. If they can exploit that, you know they will. But on behalf of Maryland, push that through one more time. On top of that, Johnson has been contending with rank and file members forcing votes to censure other colleagues, with Rep. Nancy Mace even targeting a fellow Republican, Corey Mills of Florida.
The form of the resolution is as follows: censuring Representative Corey Mills of Florida and removing him from the Committee on Armed Services and the Committee on Foreign Affairs. Whereas prior to serving in the House of Representatives, Representative Corey Mills founded Paysum Solutions International, LLC, and Paysum Defense, LLC, and acquired Amtech Corporation, now renamed as ALS, Inc., companies which engage in security and military contracting with the United States government as well as foreign nations. Whereas in August 2024, the Office of Congressional Conduct found from January 2023 to present, Paysum Defense, ALS, has been actively contracting with the federal government, securing close to $1 million in federal contracts for munitions and weapons distributed to prisons across the country. Specifically, since January 9th, 2024, 94 contracts have been awarded to entities owned by Representative Mills, and went on to conclude, quote, there is substantial reason to believe that Representative Mills may have entered into, held, or enjoyed contracts with federal agencies while he was a member of Congress.
Wow. So they just back and forth like that on one another on the floor? Wow. Quite frankly, I'm impressed that Nancy Mace even put on proper attire for the House vote. That's what I'm impressed by. As far as Corey Mills is concerned, you're not the only one that she done sat there and go talk to Michael Eric Dyson. Yeah, go invite him to lunch. Yeah, y'all have a lot to discuss. Wow. So Nancy Mace just going rogue. Like we don't have the footage from the airport or nothing. You know, she's probably owed a video too. Put that on it. Yeah, Nancy Mace has escaped for far too long. Ain't no way she gonna be a nominee for Troll of the Year and she ain't got a dedicated video. Oh, we gonna fix that. But I sense a theme, Mike Johnson. Mace is part of a group of high-profile female lawmakers, including Reps Elise Stefanik of New York, Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, who've been slinging arrows at Johnson. Many of Johnson's headaches stem from the fact that he's presiding over one of the smallest minorities in history since he swore in Tennessee Republican Matt Van Epps on Thursday morning. Republicans have a 220 to 213 edge over the Democrats, meaning Johnson can only afford 3 GOP defections on any bill he brings to the floor. Now, I know good and well that didn't say, since he swore in Tennessee Republican Matt Van Epps. I know I didn't read that. Not after Adelita Grijalva. I think she got elected in 2008 and she just got sworn in and Matt Van Epps is there already. Is that what you telling me? Moving like this, how do you want people to receive you? How do you expect anybody to behave any differently under you when this is how you move? See, this is how Pick Me ends. This is exactly how Pick Me ends. And I'm going to tell you, like I told Pete Hegseth earlier, you expected Trump to get your back? You expected him to throw himself on the firing line for you? You saw that man throw everybody under the bus he possibly could. Everything but that wing under the bus. You saw that and you decided you wanted to help elevate and push him forward. You know? Whatever happens, happens. You know? Whatever happens, happens. And also, by the way, that theme, that's not lost on anybody. You got women problems. You got women problems. Because if it ain't Marjorie Taylor Greene, it's Nancy Mace, it's Elise Stefanik, it's Anna Paulina Luna, you got women problems. And I'll be honest, that's something that I'm very adept to handle. I've had them for 50 years, and I ain't even been alive that long. Okay, before I was even conceived of, I had women problems. Okay, I was born with them. I'm gonna die with women problems. That's just what it is. I'm very surprised at that from you, though. I don't know. I wouldn't have expected that particular struggle.
Hey, here's a message for Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. This is for Mike Johnson. If you're not Mike Johnson, you can keep scrolling or you can stay here and listen to what I have to say. Hey, Mike, you have until Wednesday to swear her in. Wednesday. Or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. I bring receipts. You're not going to sit there and actively work against LGBTQ rights and democracy. It is treason. Yeah, I'm calling you out for treason. You have until Wednesday to swear her in and let democracy take its course, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. Connects both to you, Mike. The choice is yours. Do the right thing. Because I'm petty. And I'm not above this bullshit. Go f*** yourself.
Mike Johnson, you didn't get no support from the community? Didn't nobody reach their hand out and try and help you through this?
So I just got out of a very weird meeting at the Capitol. So apparently Mike Johnson recognized me as the person who leaked his Grindr information when I was covering the protest just a few days ago in DC. And apparently they have like these facial recognition cameras. I didn't know that. So as people reached out to me, they wanted to question me. So here I am at the Capitol, literally going Grindr message by message, photo by photo, explaining them. I didn't need to relive this shit. You know, we were trying to help Mike. That guy sent that to me in good faith because we were concerned about Mike's internal conflict that he was having with his sexuality. It's not a crime to be gay, okay? But to question me, who's just acting out of good faith, that's a new low. That's a new low.
Wow. When that's how you treat them, how do you expect anybody to act any differently? You know? That's horrible. You made that bed. In the back of that truck. You made that bed. No, you can't hide from this at the truck stop.
I'm a gangster's wife, doing anybody killer. Daddy, let me know that I'm your only girl.
Speaker Johnson pleads with Republicans to keep concerns private after tumultuous week. You wish. House Speaker Mike Johnson is imploring his fellow Republicans to stop venting their frustrations in public and bring their complaints to him directly. They're going to get upset about things. That's part of the process. It doesn't bother me, but when there's a conflict or concern, I always ask all members to come to me. Don't go on social media. Don't go on social media. After you guys have constructed an entire caucus of wannabe influencers, when you have people that are raising money by trying to cut promos on the House floor, and stunts on social media, you want them to stay off of social media? Is that what you just said? You mean social media like True Social, when the president who gives you your marching orders just went on a whole post storm in the middle of the night about God knows what? Yeah. Again, That was the bed that you made. In the back of the truck. Cracks inside the GOP conference were stark this week as a member of Johnson's own leadership team openly accused him of lying. Rank and file Republicans acted unilaterally to force votes and a leadership-backed bill faltered. It's all underscored by growing worries that the party is on a path towards losing the majority next year. I certainly think that the current leadership and specifically the speaker needs to change the way that he approaches the job. That from GOP Rep Kevin Kiley of California. Kiley, who's grown vocally critical of Johnson over the GOP's nationwide redistricting campaign backfired in California, said the speaker's been critical of rank and file Republicans, so he needs to be prepared to accept any criticism that comes with the job. And I think, unfortunately, there's been ample reason for criticism. Now, Mike Johnson, I can kind of understand now why you might want to leave, because the point that Kevin Kiley just made, and is something that we've talked about here previously, the growing fear among the GOP about you guys losing the majority. Because we saw coming out of Tennessee just how strong those winds are blowing left. So I can understand the concern about losing the majority. And so you might want to leave before we get that gavel stripping. Because I done already said, I not only am I going live, I am posting and live tweeting and commenting all throughout the live gavel stripping. Yeah. And matter of fact, I was going to get so excited for the gavel stripping. I done got a heavier pair of glasses so my glasses don't fall off when your glasses fall off, because I'll be so excited when that moment does occur. Earlier this week, in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Elise Stefanik directly hit out at Johnson. Oh, you get out of there. Get out of there, Mike. Get out of there, Mike. Run. It's Elise Stefanik. Run. I don't even want to be around when Elise Stefanik is anywhere. Anywhere she's in public, I go inside. He certainly wouldn't have the votes to be speaker if there was a roll call vote tomorrow. She cited her frustration with how the party handled the record-long government shutdown and recent underperformances by Republicans in special elections that showed Johnson's, quote, a political novice. Whereas Kevin McCarthy was a political animal, Mike Johnson is a political novice, and boy does it show, and the House Republicans underperforming for the first time in the Trump era. Elise Stefanik, you thought that was underperforming. Wait till these votes come in on your gubernatorial election. Hey, you ain't seen underperforming yet, Elise Stefanik. Yeah, you ain't seen underperforming yet. Ooh, and by the way, I cannot wait for that. I absolutely cannot. I'm telling you, nobody has been more undercovered on this channel based on how I feel than Elise Stefanik. That is a fact. As far as you are concerned, Mike Johnson, I'm going to give you your phone back because apparently there's some apologies that need to be made because you need a soft place to land. Okay, you need a friendly face. You need a soft touch. You need somebody who's going to love you for you on the inside, not what they got going on here on Capitol Hill. You know what I mean? Not all these people, these sharks and hawks and doves and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like you need a softer touch. That's what you need.
I love you. And I miss you.
See how easy that is? You know, when you put yourself out there truthfully and authentically, you will find people who love you for you. And those covenant eyes. Wrong. Hey, vote blue. Vote blue. We got another one. Lame speaker walking. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I wanted to share with you something that touched me. I got this email. Hi, Mr. Waters. I'd like to know if you have to be a member in order to buy merch. You better not be, because if so, I'm snitching. You know who you are.
I want to snitch. I want to tell. Whatever they call snitching, I want to do it. And I want to make it cool to do it.
I'm a 66-year-old gal on a laughably low income and want to be a member, but feel bad about only sending $1.99. How can I help the channel? Now, I want to tell you how much gratitude I have for that $1.99, but I also want to tell you it's not needed. The most important thing you can do is to show the care and concern and love that it took to compose that email. There are plenty of things you can do that help the channel, like in sharing the videos. Also, sharing doesn't have to be online. How about word of mouth? You know, they say nobody likes a gossip, but I love a gossip. Go ahead and tell everybody far and wide about the channel. And the gossip don't have to be about the channel too. I like regular gossip. You can tell me anything about anybody. I'm interested.
Stop it. Get some help.
I might even turn it into a video. Plenty of you guys have sent me suggestions for topics that have turned into troubled waters, racist of the week, street politics, you name it. It helps the channel when you buy merch. Now, see, one of the things I do is my merch spreads faster than my word of mouth. Cause when I see people, like my chest hits first. So I got a whole front porch, so my chest hit them before any of my words can hit them. So that's why I like to wear my merch. That's why I do that. Becoming a member, hugely helpful to the channel. Attending the premieres. I premiere all of my videos and attendance helps boost it in the algorithm. Hugely helpful. And of course, if you have a particular set of skills and you have time and energy and you want to help the channel, of course, I'll put out the word. We're looking for editors. We're always looking for additional mods as well as research. And one of the other ways that you can help the channel, is by subscribing. I know a lot of you guys think you're subscribed. I see the truth. I see the, I can see it from here. I ain't want to say nothing. You know what I mean? I ain't want to say nothing, get in your business, but we can see that, you know, so, you know what I mean? Just, handle that. Handle that on your own time.
Mind your business, that's all. Mind your business.
Of course, dropping comments is always hugely helpful, and it picks me up. I just got a comment the other day from a grandmother in Australia. And getting your emails at admin@reesewaters.com. Like this one. Hey, Reese and Miss Ray, my merch came in. I'm so excited to send the pic, and a huge thank you to everyone who's involved in making it all happen. Proud to be a member of the RW community and family. Thank you and the amazing Mod Squad for all that you do. With love and appreciation, representing Boston, Bella Fine 747. And representing it very well, might I add. I appreciate it, Bella Fine. I haven't been this happy to hear from Boston. It's probably been since the Tea Party. They've been disappointing. They've gone by the wayside since the Tea Party. But this is a step in the right direction. I can tell you that right now.